We graduated laying in bed. Like the roommate horror stories in college, y'all, and that I got accepted to FAMU. I was finally able to save for a car. This is not safe for a college girl to be walking. So I was just like, oh, immediately no. I want to throw freshmen in these beat up dorms. Just hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is avrionajmngmt. If you are new here, I'm so glad you clicked on this video. I can't wait to chit chat with you a little bit more. Today we're going to be talking about, we're basically going to be venting and talking about my college experience, graduating in the pandemic, class of 2020, and just how I navigated life and what it was like for me as a first generation college student. Hopefully you can relate to this video in some way, shape, or form. And even if we don't have similar experiences, hopefully you just enjoy listening to me go on and on and on and on and on. A disclaimer before we even get into this: not everyone's experience is the same. Everyone has a different experience. Some may be easier than others and some may be harder than others, but they are your experiences and you should not be ashamed for them, and you should not put other people down because of their experiences as well. This is a safe space. So without further ado, let's get into this video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank y'all for tuning in. Let's go. Whew. Finally, oh my god, my face is so freaking dry because I wanted to do my skincare for y'all on screen, but we're finally doing this chit chat, get ready with me, how I guess survived college, what my experience was, what common mistakes you shouldn't make. Yeah, just sharing my experience. Before we get into this video, my name is Avriona J. Thank you for even just clicking to tune in. If this is your first time here, I hope you do enjoy this video and take at least one thing away from it, from my experience, that could possibly help you. We shared similar experiences. Hopefully you can find comfort in knowing that you are not alone. As you can see, my hair looks, I don't want to say a hot mess, but it just looks like it needs to be refreshed. I used a 3-barrel curler. I just call it a crimper. People want to get specific on the term. No, these are what I'm calling crimps. So I used a crimper to do my hair yesterday just to see how I wanted it for this weekend, because I am going out. But yeah, we're gonna refresh this today. I'm gonna do my skincare, we're gonna refresh my hair, and we're gonna do like some light makeup because I ain't no makeup guru, but I do what I can. And we're just gonna chat about my experiences. I hope this goes in some type of order for y'all, because I'm not really sure what order. I wasn't really sure what order I wanted to go in. I kind of just like journaled the topics that I wanted to touch and like my experience, and we just gonna go like that. I don't know. Oh, I look crazy. I need to put my skincare on. Just hope it makes sense. First things first, I need to put on some of this skincare because I'm looking mad ashy right now. Those of you who don't know, I am 24. I just turned 24 years old in December. Sagittarius. Ooh, 23 was a crazy freaking year. Definitely my year of just more self-discovery, honestly. Like, ooh, I feel like it was like my first year getting out of, like, I don't want to say depression because it wasn't that deep, but it was some sadness, feeling stagnant, just like a long period of that feeling, and it was not fun. But you know, I came out of it a better person and just like feeling more comfortable with myself and things I want in life and going after things I want in life. And you know, you gotta thank God for that. I did attend a HBCU. I started college in August of 2017. I'm from North Carolina, so I went to, I'm gonna put this sunscreen on. Oh my god, why did I do that? I skipped my whole hyaluronic acid serum and everything and just went straight to sunscreen. It's okay, we're just putting on a little bit of makeup today. I did my skincare routine last night, so it's fine. But yeah, I went to North Carolina Central University. If you don't know, it's a HBCU located in Durham, North Carolina. So it was really only like 35 minutes from home. It felt like it was a little ways though, like it was a whole nother thing. That wasn't my plan. I wanted to go to school out of state. I actually got accepted to where I'm living now, a college in New York, but it just didn't work out with the, like, on the financial aspect, just couldn't afford it, and I was thinking they would offer a better financial aid package, and that just wasn't it. At literally like the last minute, I'm like, well, what, I'm not gonna cuss, but what the am I gonna do? Like, so I applied to Central just on a whim. I think they had like emailed me again saying to like apply, and I just applied on a whim. I didn't have the best high school GPA. I was very smart, but I don't know, high school was just really weird to me. Like, I was supposed to go to a certain school, and then they ended up transferring me because this new school was built, and I just didn't like the vibes of that high school. Like, I got through, but if I could have went somewhere else, I would have picked somewhere else. So first tip from me that y'all should take advantage of, if you are in the process of applying to college, or you're just in the process of looking, make sure you keep track of when your state's free college application week is. I know North Carolina has one. You'd have to double check to see if your state has one. I'm pretty sure, I think everyone has one, but just double check. That's a great way to just apply. Like, in my mind, it was always better to apply to multiple schools and just apply to a couple. And then if you don't get into the couple, what are you going to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I would just take advantage of that. There's a lot of schools you can apply to for free at no cost to you. College application fees can get expensive. And one of the things I took advantage of when I was in high school was I just went to my counselor. Like, I just built a good relationship with my high school counselor. I know there's not a lot of good high school counselors out there, but if you get good vibes from yours, I built a good relationship with my high school counselor. She basically like sponsored a couple applications for me. Like, she paid for them. Fine, you want to make sure you're building relationships with a couple good teachers, if not all your teachers, because I know how that can be. A couple good ones that really stand out to you, that you know you can trust, writing a recommendation letter on your behalf. I think I had about 3 recommendation letters, and I'm pretty sure they played a vital part in me even getting into the school here in New York and Central, honestly, even though I didn't have the best GPA. So don't let you not having a 4.0 or 3.5, anything like that, stop you from applying to college. If you want to go to college, just apply and go from there. I'm just skipping all my things. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply my eye cream, even though I applied my sunscreen already, and I was not supposed to do that because I feel like I didn't really get that much sleep last night, so I need this for my dark circles. But yeah, I went to college in August of 2017, and let me tell y'all, I'm a first-gen college student. I mean, my mom was just proud of me for even just like completing high school, honestly. Her and her siblings did not have the best upbringing. There's a lot of struggles, probably more than you can imagine. So like, me and my cousins just getting, I'm saying me and my cousins because a lot of us, we're the first in our like immediate families to go to college too. High school was like, that was an accomplishment for like for their kids to graduate high school. But I just feel like we all saw just extra step further, like just to see how far we can go, because you know, we just want to be better for our families. Went into college, like a big like question mark for me, like just on like how to move, what to do. Like, I had to teach myself how to do my own financial aid application. Of course I got like information from my mom, but I was the one that figured all of that out. You know, it was just like a big learning curve. Like, you just don't want to make the wrong steps or put the wrong information. Like, it was just a lot. And I remember the day I moved into college, like my mom was crying and everything. My best friend was about to move away, and it was just a lot of changes. I couldn't go to the college that I wanted to go to. I had to go to some school near home. But I do remember being excited to at least be away from home and like venture out for myself and create a life and future for myself. Just to be even accepted into a college and making that move, I remember that day feeling grateful at the same time, because like, wow, I'm really in college. Like, I don't know, like things like that just seem so like foreign when you're a kid. Oh, this is really gonna happen. It's happening. You're just like, what the? I will say I am kind of glad I stayed close to home, because things happen throughout college where I'm glad I had my family only 30-45 minutes away at the most, right there to help me. From like car troubles, the money troubles, to just like emotional things. It was good to have my family right there with me. I'm gonna go grab my curling iron. Just set my curling. I realized like when I was doing the barrel crimping curls before. I was putting on like 5 to 10. Like, girl, you got thick ass hair. What is you doing? So I looked up like a little tutorial, and she puts it on between 20 and 25, and that's how my crimps were able to hold yesterday. And then I didn't spray this texture spray before, but I think I'm going to spray it today to see if it like does come out better. Freshman year was definitely an adjustment. I had a horrible freaking dorm, y'all. Like, if it wasn't for my now lifelong friend but college roommate at the time, I don't know how I would have got through it. Like, we literally struggled. And it was just always crazy because people would see us and they'd be like, dang, y'all still roommates? Like, what the? And we're like, yeah. Like, the roommate horror stories in college, y'all, is crazy. Look, listen, if your roommate is not who you want to be around, switch your dorm. Go to your RA and switch your dorm, because you know that this is the person you're living with. You know, they're seeing your life, like, and what you do and everything. Like, you want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people and living with the right people. Like, you know what I mean? Definitely helped to become friends with my college roommate. Just like the emotion, like, even though my best friend was moved away, she was there for me emotionally. And then, you know, my mom, she did whatever she could to help. You know, I had a good little support system. I feel like in college it's very important for you. It doesn't have to be a big one. You don't have to have a million friends. You don't have to be friends with everybody. You don't have to have the biggest family. You could be just one person, you know, but I feel like it really does help to have some kind of support system when you're going through like these major changes in your life. Keeps you some kind of sane, because college can really just drive you crazy into places you don't want to be. The dorms, like, I don't know what it is with these colleges and just wanting to throw freshmen in these beat up dorms just because this is our first time here. We paying the same amount of money everybody else paying. Y'all need to make sure these freshmen are in livable freaking dorms. Like, y'all, my dorm was freaking beat up. It was freaking beat up. My room flooded I don't know how many times. Like, my stuff got damaged. That's another thing. Keep track of everything you have in your college dorm, because in case of things like that happen, you can have a record and you can get your money back for it. I did ended up filing like a complaint and a claim and things like that, but that process just took forever. But the community showers, like, they were just going to like, it's just a lot. Like, freshman year is just a lot. It's just a lot. The living situation they put us in, to take in the gen ed classes, to, if you don't have a lot of financial support from your family, broke. So, you know, you're trying to like figure out how to balance classes and make some kind of money and look for a job. Like, it's a lot. Ooh, it's looking in here. When I originally applied, I knew I always wanted to be in like media and communications, but I would just hear so much down talking about communication majors and how, oh, if you choose that career, you're never gonna make no money and this and that, the third. So, you know, that kind of scared me. And my mom was a nurse. I was like, well, why don't I just go to school to be a nurse? Like, I don't know. And I really did have a passion for like helping people and taking care of people. So it was like, it was stable, it was decent, why not do it? But girl, I remember I went to my orientation. My best friend had to take me to my orientation because I didn't have a car. So thank God for her for that, because the whole getting into Central thing was just like fast. So she took me to my orientation. I remember them going over the class schedule. I was like, oh, immediately no. My counselor was for my department, and I was gonna be like, you gotta take me out of this right now. Like, you gotta take me out of this. And basically when I went there, yeah, let me just put a little note out there. I had one of the best counselors during my college years. Like, and I hear a lot of like horror stories about people not having good counselors and them trying to screw them over. Nah, mine was heaven sent. Like, anything I told her, she helped me through. If I needed assistance with something, she was there. She would be on me about grades, classes, and everything, or just checking on me for life in general. Like, she was amazing. She was just like, well, let's just talk about your interests and goals that you have in life. And once I, like, you know, spilled everything to her, we just came to the conclusion that it was communications. They have different tiers, of course. I started out with broadcasting, but I realized I wanted to know a little bit more about communications, and I felt like getting out of college I would be able to do more if I changed it to public relations. So that's what I have my degree in, is communications with a focus in public relations, and I'm so glad I switched it. But that's down the line, because y'all, I switched my major again. You know, I was just trying to figure myself out. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Classes were going good. I would have my mom come pick me up on some weekends to like travel back to Raleigh and work the job that I was working in high school, because I just needed money. Like, I was broke. I needed money to pay for food and everything. So I would have my mom come pick me up on weekends and like take me so I can work the whole weekend and then come back to school and then have a paycheck so that I could get by for the next couple weeks. And that's kind of what I did throughout freshman year. Another good resource to keep in mind is, I'd hope all colleges have this, but when you start the semester, they give you like a, I don't want to say stipend, but they give you like money to use for food items and things like that throughout the campus. Like, our campus had a campus corner, I'm talking about corner store, a campus store, groceries and things like that. We had smoothie places. If you didn't want to eat inside the caf, we had like a wing spot, Pizza Hut, like things. You can use your money for things like that. Freshmen get the lowest amount. So I think I got like, it was less than $200, because I don't remember getting $200 until sophomore year. So they gave us like, I think 175. I had to double check. I think it was either 150 or 175 to last the semester. Y'all think I'm supposed to make 150 last the semester? What? Bro, it was just a mess. But you just take whatever you can get at that point. So I literally would budget that to last me the semester. On the weekends where I'm able to go back to Raleigh to work, I would just use my, what do they call it? Not food points. Bucks or something? Food bucks? I don't know. My food money. I would use my food money to go to the corner store to get me some wings or a sandwich or something, just to get me through until I could go back to work the next weekend. So definitely take advantage of that. Look into that. There's always ways for people to like add money to your food bucks or something like that. Look into it. But that was a good resource that helped me and my roommate get through college, because child, oh my god. No, towards the middle of the year, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of going back and forth to Raleigh. I know I don't have a car, so I'm just gonna go get me a job at the mall. We had a mall called South Point Mall. I think there was a lot of people that actually had jobs there. It wasn't that far from Central's campus, but you definitely, if you didn't have a car, you needed to take the bus or an Uber, and nobody was doing that. So I found out through, I don't know if it was my roommate or just like throughout campus, that our college offered a bus pass, and I forgot what the like terms were. I can't remember if it was free or we had to pay like $1 or something like that to take the bus. Girl, I don't know. I remember it helping me get back and forth to work, and it was fine. Like, I'm the type of person, like, if I'm going to make my money, I'm good. Like, you know, I'm gonna make do with what I can. I didn't have a car because right before I came to college, my car started having problems. The parking passes were like $400. I just got it. I don't have $400. So I was like, well, the car not working, there's no point in me like getting it fixed right now. I'm just gonna make do with what I can. And that's why I had my mom picking me up back and forth. But I got tired of that, so that's why I eventually got my bus pass. It made do with what I had. Like, I don't know. At one point I had left working at the mall area just because like it just wasn't paying nothing. I'm just like, I know I'm in college, but I need a little bit more than this. Like, I got things I want to do. I had started working at this store. I'm not going to mention their name. It was cool for a while, but then the manager just started getting really nasty towards me. And, you know, I'm going to stand up for myself. So one day we got into this heated argument. I was just like, well, I'm done. And the main argument was because when I applied, we agreed on a certain schedule. It was fine for the first couple weeks, and then she started like trying to creep later hours into my schedule, and I'm like, ma'am, what's going on? And she's just like, oh, we just need a little extra help during these hours. And I'm like, okay, it's fine, but that's not my schedule. So I did a couple shifts for her. I just like, I kept having to go up to her and I'm just like, this is not the schedule that we agreed on. Please change my hours. And she basically just kept getting really nasty about it. And I'm just like, girl, this is just not what we agreed on. You need to change my schedule back. I have classes. I don't have a car. I take the bus. I had this job like leading into the beginning of sophomore year. So we're in sophomore year now. Me and my roommate was staying in a better dorm finally. But this dorm was like from where the bus came all the way across campus. So it was like a long walk. And I cannot be working shifts. And certain routes stop at certain times. So it's just like the route time plus the walk plus how dark it is and how late it is. This is not safe for a college girl to be walking. So I was just like, you're not understanding and I'm going to need you to. Like, I was working like shifts to like 11 o'clock, having to rush to catch the bus. And yeah, it just wasn't working out. I'm just like, I don't see how you don't see the problem with this. Like, that's not safe. You know you're hiring a college student and you don't care about what time I'm getting home or the classes that I have to get done, and you're not sticking to the schedule that we agreed to. Like, I'm not understanding how this is my fault. Point is, you have certain things you want to do in college, do what you gotta do. There's nothing wrong with taking the bus. There's nothing wrong with having to catch an Uber. You're making a way for yourself, and the first year is hard. Like, it's hard, and you know, you gotta do what you can to get through it. At this time, I was living in a better dorm, way better. It's just, but that just proves my point. Like, why do the freshmen have to live in these crappy freaking dorms? Like, I do not understand. It's crazy. I still wasn't really happy. I was just working a lot, trying to pass my classes the best way I could. I think at this point I had bad teachers. They were like very discouraging, and like they would talk to us any kind of way. And I just started hearing things about the teachers, and I'm just like, well, why am I putting myself through this? You know what? Like, I'm getting discouraged. I don't think I'm gonna make, you know, a living, or I don't think I'm gonna get a job when I get out of college, because they were already pressuring internships and things like that on us. And I'm just like, I don't have time. Like, I'm trying to fend for myself, stay focused on these classes, and somehow make money just to stay afloat. Like, I don't have time for internships and things like that. Like, I don't know, the teachers I had at the time were just very like, they just talked down on a lot of students, and I was just like, I'm not gonna put myself through this then. Like, I should have had more of a backbone, but at that point I was just like, well, all this discouragement, why am I even putting myself through this major? Like, I'm just gonna go to something where I'm gonna be comfortable and I know I'm gonna get a job and things like that. So I had switched to like it was a health major, I think public health or something like that. It was a safety net for me. And boy, did I regret that. That was the worst decision I ever made in my life. I was so freaking miserable. I'm glad I did it, because it taught me to, like, you just can't listen to what these people be saying. Like, people would try to discourage you so much, but you literally have to tune them out. If you have a vision for yourself, or if you have a goal for yourself and you see yourself doing a certain thing for your career and your life, you just have to do that. Like, forget what they saying. Like, they're projecting, and you gotta let them do what they gotta do. I went out so much better than yesterday. During that period where I was just like regretting my major and just like so unsure about everything, I had applied. I was like, you know what, maybe, like, once I had decided I wanted to be in communications, I was like, well, maybe it's just this school. Like, maybe I was just supposed to be out of state like I was in the first place, and that's the problem. So I was like, you know what, I just need to get away. I talked to my friends about it and everything. You know, I'm just like, well, I just think this is the best decision for me. Like, it has to be where I'm at. And because I didn't go through with what the original plan was, like, I just convinced myself that was a problem. Actually applied to a couple schools, but the main school I wanted to get into was FAMU. That was one of my dream schools when I was applying in high school, but I didn't get in. But I'm like, oh, I have a better GPA and everything now, so maybe, like, you know, the odds are a little bit different. I got to FAMU, I think the beginning, not even a couple weeks into classes, I think I applied. And so it was like January or something like that. It was like January or February, and then I heard back. I was just like, God, please let me get in. Like, I can't wait to get away from here. You know, life's gonna be so much better. I'm gonna be in a warm environment, better classes, and like FAMU had a lot of good things in the communications department when I was looking on their website and things like that. So I just thought that was the answer to all my problems. It's like as soon as I sent that application in, things started looking up for me. I eventually had like a talk with my advisor. She got me on track to go back to communications. She said it is very possible for you to switch your major back. I know she was honestly getting fed up with me because I really didn't know what the fuck I had going on. But she was just like, I mean, you're just listening to your gut. So we can get you back on track to go to communications. So I didn't even think that was possible because I'm like, there's no way I can keep switching my major. So that's part of the reason why I applied to FAMU too. I don't know, knowing that the following semester I would be back to learning and doing what I want to do kind of gave me like a boost, like a boost of serotonin. I was finally able to find a better job. At that time, it was high paying to me. It was in like double digits. I was finally able to save for a car, to save money in general, like spoil myself, buy myself things. You know, like I was doing very well for a sophomore in college. Like I was doing very well. I got my car, like it was just like the best. Like I was finally able to like go wherever I wanted. I didn't have to troop to the bus stop late at night anymore. It just lifted a lot of weight on my shoulders, but you know, I was still thankful for the experiences that I had to go through because it kept me very humble. Like I was having so much fun with my friends. I felt like I finally had a good circle around me. It wasn't as lonely as I was in freshman year. And it was like right in that moment, I had got a letter back saying that I got accepted to FAMU. And I was like shocked by how I felt because when I got the letter, it's like, I was like, oh my God, I got in, like I can go. And then I was like, oh, wait, I can go. Life is good right now. Like I'm finding my way. I don't know if I want to go anymore. From the feelings I had when I applied to how I felt when I got the letter, I was just like, oh, nah. And I really pay attention to gut feelings and everything too. And I don't know, something was just saying like, Aubrey, just stick it out a little bit longer. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just stay here. If you feel like a school is not right for you and you want to leave and you get that acceptance letter saying you got in and you still want to leave, go. There's nothing wrong with transferring. There's nothing wrong with starting over a bit. Yeah, I want to take that leap of faith. Go ahead and do it, girl. Like there's no timeline on when you're supposed to finish your degree and your experience. Around September, it just got really dark for me. Really teared up a couple times, just like journaling all of this out because I'm like, dang, I really went through some mess. Like I experienced something a couple things pretty traumatic. In college, there were a lot of students passing away, dying so young, you know, not just at my school, but everywhere, at any college. You know, you have all these traumatic things happening to these young, beautiful students, and it's just, it takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on you mentally and emotionally, and it kind of makes you stay on guard a little bit more physically too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just in all, it can be traumatic hearing about so many deaths at these colleges and the things that happen to these students. And it's just really sad. And it just hits a little bit different when it's someone close to you. September, I want to say it was like first week of September, and I was just headed back from classes and I was going to my dorm just to like chill for the rest of the day. My close friends had called me and they were like, you know, have you heard the news? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they had said my childhood best friend had passed away. And I just remember like everything just kind of stopped for a while. I didn't sleep, I didn't eat, I didn't talk for weeks. And yeah, that was still is hard. I don't talk about it as much because it just gets me really emotional. That was definitely a turning point that year, and God definitely exposed who was truly meant to be around me and who wasn't. Because in times like that, you need that emotional support. You need those people that are solid. And if you don't take anything from this video, college or just being a young adult in general, please be intentional on who you surround yourself with, aware of how you feel when you're around them. Is it a give and take situation, or is it give or take? just be very intentional on who you surround yourself with. Help shape how you deal with certain experiences, both good and bad. Sleeping, I wasn't eating, I was crying every day. I really don't even know how I managed to even pass my classes that semester. I really probably should have been kicked out of the school because I wasn't there. I think I would literally go to my classes and they would probably say some triggering word. It probably wasn't even relevant to the situation, and I would just start bawling. Having the right friends and family around me definitely helped me come out of that dark place that I was in for a couple months. I want to say I really didn't start feeling myself again until winter break. Like being around friends and family and just trying to have some laughs and everything again just helps bring me back to life a little bit, but it was hard. It was hard. I have a little tattoo in remembrance of her. Her name was Chadia. She was so fun and beautiful and just someone who didn't deserve to pass away like that. And yeah, you know, winter break kind of helped me get back to myself a little bit. And once it was time for us to go back, me and my roommate decided that we wanted to move off campus for the next semester. We just kind of like over staying on campus and everything. We just wanted like a little bit more privacy and just elevating living conditions every year. We need to elevate the living conditions every year. So we decided that we were going to move to our own apartment. So we started looking. We got a roommate, and we ended up finding these really cute apartments for like our price range area. It was like, I want to say like 10-15 minutes from school, so it wasn't that far. And we thought we was doing something different moving to these apartments because everybody was staying in apartments that was like 2 minutes down the street from campus, and we were moving out a little bit farther. Everybody and their mama ended up moving over there, but it was fine. Like, we were just glad to have an apartment, like our own space. Like, that was the first time I got to like really decorate my own room. Like, so I really invested in that space. Like, it was literally my little sanctuary. I got done with classes and everything. Like, I was ready to go home. Definitely, if you are thinking about moving off campus or you are just a young adult ready to get your first apartment, definitely keep in mind to not live beyond your means. Find something in your price range. If you want something a little more, then you might want to look into a roommate. I would just say be very, very intentional on who you pick as your roommate. Really make or break your apartment experiences. And the things I've heard, you don't want to pick the wrong roommate. So I would just, trust your gut. Good vibes from them. They have a stable income. And you just trust them living with you, then I mean, go for it. Just do your research, child. Do your research. Don't just skip over them bad reviews. When you go tour that apartment, tell them to let you tour the unit that you will be living in. Like, make them find a way. Get some pictures or something, but make sure you have an idea of what your unit is going to be like, because they love to show you the unit they have all done up and the view that they have for the show apartment. And then when you get to your apartment, you like, what is this? Like, for example, we got shown a beautiful apartment, and then when we got there to ours, we didn't like the view. Like, no sunlight was really coming into the apartment. Luckily my room was facing like the sunlight, but I just didn't really like the view like that. Just flip-flopped. Like, everything was flip-flopped. Like, we were shown an apartment where things were like on this side, it's over here, and our apartment was just completely flip-flopped. So we weren't really too happy about that, but I mean, it was whatever at that point. We were just glad to be off campus and in our own space. But I will say that was probably one of the best steps I did in college, was moving into my own apartment. It really helped me just like further deeper into like my independence and providing for myself. And not too long after we got this apartment, that's when COVID-19 happened. And child. I literally just saw a tweet the other day. I'm gonna try to insert it. But they just did the class of 2020 so dirty. Just so dirty. This happened during my junior year. It was getting crunch time. Me being worried about like not having enough internships under my belt. It's really push internships on you during college, but it's just like when you're a first gen, you're just worried about keeping a roof over your head, making money, trying to pass these classes, have some kind of social life, like just navigating your way through, and you're just like, how am I supposed to be worried about internships, unpaid internships at that? What you want me to do with that? Luckily, right before the pandemic happened, one of my requirements for my degree was to have an on-campus internship. So I was a radio host. I even signed up for extra things like reading the morning news and things like that, like just to get some experience under my belt, which I really enjoyed. Through like connections and school resources, definitely, I know it's hard because going into college, they told me like make connections, network. It's hard. Like you don't just click with everybody, and you don't want it to be forced either, just to say you made a connection or you added another person to your network. Like no, let it be genuine. So yeah, through genuine connections, and then like just like keeping up to date with like resources and emails the school would send through my communications department, I got 2 more internships, both remote, thank God. So I was doing the on-campus internship, and then I did one magazine one that was short-lived, and then as I'm still doing the radio station internship, I was able to get another magazine internship that I did, and I was just kind of like doing both of those, and that's kind of when the pandemic happened, because you know it was right before spring break, and I literally just remember feeling so drained. Like I was so freaking drained. Not to freaking crash out, trying not to crash out, because I knew graduation was coming up within the next year, and I just had to have my shit together, and I didn't have an early start like everyone else because, you know, it's my first time out here. So, and it's like right when the pandemic happened, I felt like I was hitting like my breaking point, honestly, because I was juggling way too much, and we were instructed to stay home, and then classes were switched to online, and that was just an adjustment in itself. The pandemic, I learned so much about myself. I guess when you're instructed to stay in like a confined, like your home, like you're instructed to stay in a confined space for so long, like you have no choice but to dig deep and learn more about yourself and reflect on what you want out of life and the things that you just battery hold on throughout me taking like summer classes and things like that. I guess I just like accumulated all these credits, and my counselor told me I was on track to graduating early, so I had to like process that and everything, like, cause I'm thinking I still have like, you know, hella time before I have to think about graduating and finding it. Once I was told that, I'm like, oh, this is the worst time. Like, we're literally in a whole pandemic. How am I gonna find a job? Not too much. You know, I'm not gonna do like, I don't think I'm gonna do any contour or anything. We're just gonna keep it real like simple. Also, this top is from Zara, and it is so freaking like comfortable. I was gonna wear like a tank top or something like that, like just so you could see a little bit more of me, but I was just feeling really like I wanted to be snuggly today, and this is doing the job. It's from Zara. It was like $30, I think. Very much worth it. I got it in another color, and I actually plan on wearing it next weekend. But this is just the vibe that I wanted to go for the video. Another tip: if you want to graduate early, take those summer classes. I think I was just taking them just because they were way cheaper and they were manageable. Like summer classes were 10 times easier than the semester classes, and it makes you question like, why is that? The workload is easier, the teachers are way more laid back. They're not terrible. I'm going with the shade tan with my Maybelline Fit Me, just to like cover up some of my dark spots. Just like trying to figure out what I'm gonna do, and all of a sudden having to graduate early, like all that was happening at the same time. You know, nobody was working throughout that time period either, so I just imagine like what a lot of not only families and things like that, but like just college students that were already barely getting by, what was we supposed to do? That's when the whole unemployment thing rolled out, and that kept a lot of people afloat, including me, and like a lot of other college students I had noticed were getting by with unemployment. Like we had to do what we had to do. Like it was just all a learning curve. Like I don't know, I had never dealt with unemployment before, and now all of a sudden this is how everybody's getting by. It was just a lot, girl. And I remember we finally, like, people finally started like traveling and coming out of it again, and it was my time for graduation was approaching, and girl, I literally graduated laying in bed. I was laying in bed with my, what kind of computer did I have? I think it was like this MacBook that I had thrifted that I had got from like a pawn shop or something like that, just because I wanted a MacBook so bad, but I couldn't afford it. I was literally just laying in bed, and I'm just like, this, like, all of the years I've worked and grind, of course this would be my experience of just like graduating in bed. Like, and they were making it seem like we were gonna have like a way more thought out graduation presentation type thing, because it was live stream, so your families and friends could like get the link and they could watch you graduate live, and including yourself, of course. And girl, it was like a 3-second presentation. I was just like, we don't deserve a little bit more? That's what we deserve? Y'all, why? We're just gonna skip the fact that I just put on, I've never done that before, but I've seen girlies do it, so we just gonna go with it. We're just gonna skip the fact that I put on blush first, and we're gonna go back in with this coverage. What am I doing? But yeah, I'm just like, this is, I understand it's the pandemic, but y'all could have at least put a little bit more thought into this graduation presentation, since it's just a live stream presentation of the graduation. You could have did a little bit more, like, and I remember feeling salty about that. And I don't know, because I feel like I had found out I was graduating early, so last minute, and just the graduation process in general, and then that lousy presentation and everything, like, it was just, I was just so annoyed at everything, because during the pandemic I had decided to move back to Raleigh, because I'm just like, why am I in my college town and I can't even go to the college? And the lease was coming up on the apartment me and my roommates had got, so I'm just like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, it just felt like a ghost town. I don't want to be here anymore. So I went back home and found an apartment with me and my best friend, and you know, we were making do with what we had. But you know, during that time, you know, I was going through the graduation stuff and everything, and I was just upset that we got that lousy freaking presentation, because I literally had to like stop working for a period of time just to like make sure I was getting all my classes done. And senior year for me, I somehow had like all my hardest classes that required a lot of attention, and I just could not for the life of me work a full-time job. So I literally like lived off my savings for a minute. I can only imagine what other students had to do to make sure they got their degree. So it's just like, we couldn't get a little bit more, like, and I believe that's how a lot of other students graduated as well. Like, we can't even walk across the stage. So that was just a mess in of itself, and it was a lot to process at the rate that it was happening. I guess everyone just figured, like, since the world was opening back up at that point, we would be able to have like an in-person graduation, but it didn't happen. I wasn't able to walk across the stage until, let me see, I graduated December 2020. I wasn't able to walk across the stage until I graduated in December 2020. They didn't invite us to come walk across the stage until May 2021. And looking back, you know, I went through that little post-grad sadness and everything, and it probably was like so enticed. Hold on. Where is my spray bottle? I remember just feeling like so like down and lost and sad, and it was probably so bad because I don't know, when you walk the stage, it's like you're closing that chapter for good. I just feel like since my class didn't get that experience and I never got to walk, it was just kind of like it was just left open. I don't feel like it really closed, that chapter of my life really closed until I was able to walk in May. And so it kind of feels like I got like a late start to like adulting and everything. to like my real adult life and everything. So I don't know, that time period was just a mess. Like, I couldn't officially close that chapter until I walked across the stage in 2021. But that's just ridiculous to have to go from December 2020, graduate, already trying to find an adult job, doing adult things, and like just trying to get out of that college mindset, and then being invited back to walk in May of 2021. And it's just like, we had this big gap for what? So yeah, but once I walked across that stage, it just felt like I finally closed a chapter. And I was so freaking glad because it was just kind of like lingering over my head. And I don't want to, when I have my kids in the future, like, yeah, mommy graduated from watching a presentation on a computer. No. No, I want to be able to show them pictures. More on post-grad life. I ended up staying in Raleigh, and me and my best friend ended up getting another apartment as well. And like, just during this time period, I was just like still trying to find a good entry-level job, but it was just so hard. It's just a lot of competition in the communications world, and I just feel like people still, even though I had like 3 or 4 internships under my belt that I was able to scramble together, people still had way more experience than me. I want to say like the end of summer 2021, so like August, September, I finally landed a entry-level job doing social media management. And I was just like thanking God, like, finally I have something, like, you know, finally, like, a little bit of my troubles can go away, because that's a hard transition. You honestly just feel like, well, dang, I was told, I'm about to go in with this banana powder by Revolution. I was told what to do my whole life, throughout grade school, and then low-key the same in college, and now we just gotta go to work. Like, we just gotta be these adults. What? Something you need to keep in mind: you're most likely, if you can, hey, cool, you're most likely not gonna be around the same people you were surrounded by when you first got to college. I mean, I think that just kind of happens. Y'all grow apart, things happen, and yeah, just life. I'm really surrounding myself around the best people, and people that uplift me, good energy, and people that I want to, and people that I want to have good experiences in life with. And you know, we doing a damn thing. Blending. That's eye contour. I guess we would go in with that, right? I'm still learning eyeshadow, y'all. What was I saying? I keep losing track of what I'm saying, because I literally have a million things going through my mind, and I'm trying not to forget anything, and I'm hoping this makes sense somehow, but I'm really just like venting and just sharing. But yeah, I was back in Raleigh. Me and my best friend had got a newer apartment and everything, and I finally had this good paying entry-level job. But I still felt that need to just like move. Like, I just feel like you should at least move away from your hometown at least once in your life, even if it's just for a little bit. Like, you know, I wasn't rushing anything. I was just like, when God wants me to branch off and try a new experience, I will. And then that's kind of how New York happened, which is where I am now. I've been here 3 months now, and it's like in that September, October time frame, like, things just started aligning to where it was just like God was just like, it's time for you to go. Like, take that next step. So I just, you know, I follow my gut. I remember watching this girl, and she was like, you can use the same color eyeshadow if you just layer it differently. So you can go from like light to dark. Some concealer. Let me brush away this powder. I'm just gonna go in with this one. If you take like the same color and go in and layer it from light to heavy, you can make a little eyeshadow look, girl, because I'm still learning. But what was I saying? But yeah, I just felt like I was getting signs that it was time for me to try something different. So I just followed my gut, and now I'm here. Moving to a new city has not been easy at all. If I'm being honest, I do miss the South. Like, I miss so many things about the South. And it's not to say I like think New York is like a terrible place, but it's just like, there's nothing like the South. Like, I don't care what nobody gotta say, like, there's nothing like the South. And I just feel like I would have never had that appreciation for the South if I didn't move away. Key being, I feel like everyone should branch out at least once in their life. But I don't regret moving because of that point exactly. Like, I would have never had that appreciation for the South if I didn't move away. I have an amazing paying job. I'm really digging into content creation because that's ultimately what I want to do. And I've been doing a damn thing. Like, I've just been like, if I gotta wake up a little early to make a video, that's what I'm doing. If I gotta take my time editing a little bit more, then that's what I'm doing. I'm just putting 100% into me, and that's what this time period here in New York is. We're just gonna elevate. I need to learn how to do this with my left hand. But yeah, we're just working on ourselves and elevating all 2023 because I do not want to be in the same predicament I'm in right now, even though, you know, I'm thankful to be where I am because at one point I wasn't. But I don't like staying stagnant, and I just want to continue elevating. Hopefully by the end of 2023 we're in a whole other predicament. Yeah, I noticed a little difference. Oh, homegirl wasn't lying. She was not lying. Okay, not me learning a little eyeshadow. Even though you can like barely see it, it makes a difference. Like, I didn't want to go too dark. I just wanted like a little color on my eye. Most recent years, these past couple months, I've just been like my confidence has been through the roof. Like, you can't tell me anything. Like, you really can't tell me anything. I've just like, I believe in myself. I believe in my vision. Like, if you have the vision, it's very achievable. God gives you a vision of what your life is supposed to be like because it's for you. And it's achievable. You just have to find your way, and you'll know where to start because it'll feel right. And if you fail at something, don't think that's the end of the world. Find another way. Now you know that way doesn't work. Find another way. I'm just putting words to my actions this year, like, because you can write all the goals. You can write all your goals if you want. You can say you want these things, but you have to be actively working towards them. And that's just the vibe that we own, and we just got to see where it takes us. I'd rather be trying something and see how it works out than not trying and just being mad that I'm not getting up, making these things happen, and these things aren't happening to me. So that's just the vibe we own. But I hope this has made some kind of sense. I kind of just like vented. I didn't really know what kind of order to put these things in, and I feel like it was just so much. I feel like I kind of forgot some things, but if you guys want a part 2, we can definitely do a part 2. But I'm just about to put these lashes on using the Super Hold 3D black eyelash glue by Envy. I don't know, I've gotten so much better with lashes lately. It's just crazy to me that I even have an interest in makeup, because me and my best friend talk about this all the time. She used to be so into makeup, and I used to be like, girl, I'm not doing all that. And now she's like very minimal makeup, and I'm just like, teach me everything. I just like being creative in any kind of way, and makeup is so creative and fun. All right, so we just put the lashes on. These are Wispy's Pro Beauty Essentials 3D Faux Mints. I got these from like Marshall's a while ago, and it was a 2-pack, and I just finally used the other pack, so I have to get more. And we're about to go in with our lip. This is the color 104 Terracotta by One and Only, and it's waterproof. I really got this because I liked the pencil. Not everyone has to go to college. I mean, it's definitely great if you do, but it's also great if you don't. Like, I feel like there's other ways to make a living for yourself. As long as you have those goals in mind and as long as you're working towards those goals, I don't see the problem. And not everyone's experience is going to be the same. Some people might have it a little bit easier, and some people might have to go do the woodworks, like, you know, but your experience is your own, and don't take any shame in that. Oh, and I'm just going, that was the NYX Butter Gloss in Fudge Me, and then I'm going in with a bit of Honey by NYX Cosmetics as well. And just make sure you have a good support system. Like I said, it doesn't have to be the biggest family or the biggest group of friends. Like, who's important to you and who waters you is who you need to have around you. And take advantage of your resources around you. There's so many resources out there that people don't talk about, or people try to gatekeep. Do your research and try to get any help you can to make your life easier when embarking on that journey, because ooh, I'm trying to decide if I want to do earrings or no. I kind of like it like that. Oh, this came out so cute. I'm glad I was talking with y'all, bro. I need to do more of these get ready with me. I feel like they help us get a little bit closer to each other. I just have not had the time. Like, that's why I've been pumping out these vlogs. But 2023, I really want to dive deep into my content. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope you took something from it. I hope it wasn't too much all over the place. Really just a long vent session and trying to share some tips in between to help y'all throughout your process of just being a young adult in general. Even if you don't go to college and this video relates to you in some way, shape, or form. And yeah, if you guys want more in detailed, like, I didn't really touch on financial aid, like the specifics on how to apply for financial aid and things like that, because I feel like that could be a whole nother in-depth tip video. But there's a lot that goes into that. Rooming process, apartment process, graduating, things like that, like real specific things, technical things that you have to do when going to college and school and things like that. So if you guys want a video on that, let me know. But this is just kind of just like an overview and event session of my college experience, and being a 2020 graduate throughout the pandemic and just adjusting to life. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment what your favorite tip was, or if you can relate to anything. I'd like to start really engaging in the comments and just hearing y'all's feedback on these videos. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button so that you know the next time I post. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye.